All right, guys. So, solid night last night. I thought it was gonna be a huge night, but then at the last game there was a couple of huge nights out of Rondo and Demarcus Cousins kind of knocked me out of some contests there. So we'll go over kind of my hits and misses here. Now, I put this as an example because one, it's a game that I won, and then I had a couple lineups going last night: a Westbrook lineup and a non-Westbrook lineup. So here's kind of, I love Westbrook. He's one of my favorite players. So this is why I hate having Westbrook in my lineup. And I like this lineup too because he did Westbrook and Rondo and then just kind of missed on all his punts. So Rondo was absolutely amazing last night. I mean, he looked exactly like Westbrook. And Westbrook had a triple-double. He had a triple-double. I mean, you get this type of production out of those two. I don't know how. You're essentially getting the same production, out of almost half the price. So that's why it's just tough going with Westbrook, even though he's so amazing and will give you at least 50 every night. Again, I don't know what happened with T. I heard he was injured. I didn't catch much of that game, but I guess he was injured. I'm going to stay away from him for a while. He's one of those guys that needs speed, and he has a good backup, so I probably won't rush him back. Marcus Thornton was absolutely terrible. Barely played. When he played, he didn't look for the ball. His teammates didn't look for him. I'm off the Thornton bus, probably for good. Waiters played well. He played real well. He didn't do any crazy shots. He looked for his teammates. He played really well. I was, for that salary, I mean, that's what, five times, four times. I actually thought he played better than that. A little bit of a blowout, but he still got his minutes. Um, so I was happy what I got out of him. LeBron, I hope for a little bit more. There was a shot this was going to go into overtime. LeBron just did barely enough to win the game. So I was hoping for a little bit more out of LeBron, but that's not what cost me money here. What cost me money was these two guys, Favors and Bielitsa. I don't know what happened with Bielitsa. I saw him. I watched a little bit of this game. He was in the game most of the game. He just it just didn't happen for him. Favors, I missed that game too. I didn't start watching the game till about 8:30. But I mean, he wasn't even in at crunch time, so I don't know if he's ill or injured or what. No foul trouble either, so it was interesting. And why he was sitting out for most of it, but not a huge issue there, and that a lot of other people had Bielitsa and Favors. So um, tonight or last night was more of there was a lot of stars that didn't play well or got injured or whatnot. That's gonna fading those people is gonna win you more money than say choosing someone like Ibaka who played well. So you got to be aware of that who has a less chance of sinking me than who could kind of blow up. So Ibaka and Kanter, they're essentially the same price, and Ibaka did a lot better. I mean, Ibaka looked amazing. I'm gonna run with him for as long as I can. And I remember him doing this last year when Garnett was out. And the last part of the game, they said he had a terrible shooting night. Yeah, I think he was like 4 for 12 or 4 for 15, something like that from the field. So, again, another guy that doesn't even need to score to have a good fantasy night. I don't know what happened with Canner. I saw him and he played well and it looked like he was all, getting his putbacks, getting everything in. So I don't know why. It was another thing where him and him and Dion Waiters looked like they scored a lot more points than they actually did. When I went back and looked at the scores, I thought Waiters was closer to 30 and same with Canner, but oh well. My lineup for tonight. Now I have two of them. Now Steph Curry is just so risky. There's a couple things. One, this game is going to be a huge blowout. Brooklyn's kind of terrible and Golden State's kind of really good. So the other thing is when Golden State does have blowouts, at the end of the third quarter, it's not going to be 75-50. At the end of the third quarter, it's going to be 90. So they're going to get their points. It's just a matter of they're not going to be getting their points down the stretch, which is where out of a superstar point guard or center, you can get an extra 10 to 15 points in the last 6 minutes of the game. So I have two lineups, so we'll go with the similarities here. I like Vukovic tonight against the Wizards. The Wizards are my squad, but they've been playing terrible. Gradats hasn't been playing well, so I like Vukovic. Vukovic's injury wasn't even that big of an injury. It was a bone bruise where he just needed to take a couple days off. So it wasn't like he has a ligament or something lingering. It was simply a bruise that they wanted to rest him. Then at power forward, I'm sticking with Draymond. Now, even if this game was a blowout, Draymond just hustles so hardcore that it doesn't even matter. I mean, he's going to get his points, again, like Ibaka, where he can score, 9 points on the night and have a 40-point fantasy night. Then I had a little bit of discrepancy here. Kevin Love and Powell. Powell had a great game last night. And who's he going against tonight? Houston. Now, Houston's going to be playing without Dwight Howard. So, hopefully he takes a little advantage. And the other thing about Powell having a good night last night is Jaja Pachulia had a great night, his best night of the season. So Jaja Pachulia had a great night, and so did Powell. You figure normally it's one or the other that's getting the minutes, but it just shows that maybe they have them out there at the same time, and how much they like Powell to have them both on the court at the same time. Kevin Love against Milwaukee. I don't know who's going to be D'ing him up, but I'm expecting LeBron to take a little bit of a backseat tonight and let Kevin Love do a little more offense than he did the night before. And I'll go to the bottom of this lineup here. Now, the small forwards here, I have Gallinari and Tobias Harris. I'm still stacking. The Wizards play fast, and they haven't been playing well. So I'm stacking a lot of Magic players against the Wizards, even though it's in Washington. And then with Gallinari, my deal with him is I like this game here. I'm not a huge Gallinari fan, but I like the Denver Phoenix game to be very high scoring, very fast paced, which is why you see up top I went with TJ Warren. There's something going on with Markieff. I don't know what it is, but this is essentially Markieff's backup. So Markieff is sick or pissed off or something. So TJ Warren gets in there and he scores. He does stuff. He worries me a little bit and he doesn't do much else but score. But I'll take him at that price to get me 20 points. And the Middleton I just have there, that was kind of a punt. I couldn't find anyone better at that price, and to keep Curry in the lineup, I had to go with Middleton. He's not going to sink you. He might only score 20, 22 points, but he's not going to sink you. He's not going to put up single digits. He's been playing close to 40 minutes a game somehow. So that's what I like there. Now, Will Barton, again, the one time I played him this year, he burned me. I saw him, but I've seen him play well. I saw him play last night. He was great. He was in there at crunch time. He played a lot of minutes. So I'm rolling with him again against Phoenix. Yeah, it's chasing last night's points, but instead I like this game. So I stick going with Will Barton in a bunch of lineups there. So then and the other shooting guard, got Bledsoe and Fournier. Bledsoe because I like the game, and he's been consistent as well, except for the one or two nights that I pick him. Secondly, going with Fournier down here, just because I'm stacking the Wizards game. And then likewise, the 2 point guards, I have the 2 point guards from the Denver Phoenix game. So if that's a close game, if that's a high scoring game, I'm expecting a lot of points out of these guys. So I pretty much stacked 2 games here, and then threw in Kevin Love just as kind of a wild card. So this is one where every single person on here can put up 50 points, and that's what I like. When everyone can score you 50 points, if they go off, that's how you win the big money. So we'll see. My 2 point guards here up top to go to, I got Curry and then Mo Williams. Mo Williams could have a big night too, especially if LeBron takes a little bit of a backseat or only plays 25 minutes, something like that. And I have a feeling that that's going to happen. It's a road game, and this game could be a blowout. So Mo Williams could just step up and score. So that's what I have for FanDuel. Now we'll do DraftKings here. Let's see how I did last night. So last night, this is just the winning lineup I guess I had up here. So I always see how close would I have gotten to the winning lineup. He pretty much used my strategy. Pick somebody that can blow up. He had no superstars on here. Rondo, Jimmy Butler, good solid players, could get you 50 every night. Batum and Randolph, kind of the same thing. Valanciunas and Kemba Walker only 1.1. I guess there's just so many other good point guards out there. And then Tobias Harris. And then his one punt scored him 47. So, that's how you win, 20,000 or whatever this guy won. So we'll look at my lineup here. Thornton just crushed me. I don't even want to talk about it. And then everyone else I have no problem with. Oh yeah, Favors crushed me too. So let's say Favors just scored his average 45 points. That would have brought me to 300. And let's say Thornton been scoring 28, so that would have put me at 336. Or excuse me, 316. So a little disappointed. I expected a little more, but when Favors wasn't playing that first game, and my other guys were still doing well. How'd this other lineup do? Who ruined me on this lineup? Yeah, my punts actually did all right here. Bogdanovich and Corey Joseph. Bogdanovich, I'm going to stay away from him for a while. His teammates don't look to him at all. I did like that he hustled. I do like big guys that hustle up and down the court, but all of his points were hustle points. In transition, fast breaks, him running down the court. His teammates really didn't look for him. He's not in the flow of the offense, and he did play a lot. I mean, he scored 16 or 17 points in the first half just off hustle, and then in the second half, I think he hit 1 bucket, maybe 2, and he played almost the entire second half. No rebounds. He, 3 rebounds the entire game. No rebounds, no assists, no steals, something like that. He just sits in the corner and runs up and down the court. So I'm going to stay away from him for a while unless I absolutely need a punt. And it was a high-scoring game, too. I mean, he's got to do better than that. So let's see what my lineups have for tonight. So I don't really love my lineups tonight. Here's my Steph Curry lineup. Steph Curry, Barton, Fournier, Draymond Green, all reasons I've talked about. Going with Peyton here, keeping with the stack on Peyton. Now my one punt here is Randy Foye. I saw him play last night. As long as he gets minutes, he's going to get points. Phoenix also likes to go small as well. So if Foye's not in there to start, he'll be in there a lot as the 6th or 7th man. I believe their guards are kind of in order of the hierarchy on fantasy points. Obviously, you have Moutier, you have Barton, then there's Jameer Nelson, Randy Foye. Those are kind of the point guard combo guards of the team. So you could see 3 of them on the court at once, depending on what Phoenix does, because Phoenix would roll with Bledsoe, Brandon Knight, and they have a few other small guys. So let's take a look specifically at that game just to see the guards on their team. See if they have Bledsoe, Knight, Moutier. Gary Harris doesn't really play that much. I think they could have some small forwards that play a little bit of guard. TJ Warren might play a little guard, but that's so. Hopefully, this lineup, all of them have an opportunity. Sometimes I'm worried Will Barton might sink me, but I mean at that price, he's going to put up 20 points. I mean, let's see how many minutes he played last night. He played 31 minutes last night, and a few games ago he played 39 minutes. The 17 minutes was odd. I don't know how he pulled that off. I think that could have been the night I played him, or the 29 or the 23 minutes of the night I played him. But he was amazing last night. There's no way they might even start him or 6-man him tonight. So I like the scoring. I like Phoenix playing against Phoenix and Denver. So that's my squad there. Now Yahoo, I somehow did my best. We'll pull them up here. We'll just show me. I just put myself up against Condia. This is just a 50-50 that I believe I made the money in. So we'll compare me to the hot shot. So Condia, we both have Westbrook. What I love about his lineup is he had Westbrook and Rondo, and he still only scored 256 is a pretty good score, but he bombed on Favors and Caspi. And I've seen Caspi play. He's not that good. He's solid. I would take him over Bogdanovich if I could, just because he does a little more defensively and he's more involved in the game flow, but he's just not that good. Bellinelli actually looked pretty good last night. When I saw him, he cost me a little bit of money because in some I had Bogdanovich and the other guy had Bellinelli as kind of our punts, and Bellinelli scored more and scored more in the second half. What else did Condia do? Mike Conley's just okay, nothing special there. Gasol, I'm impressed with that pick. I would not have picked that. Portland can't defend the bigs very well, so maybe he had that going for him, but Marcus Gasol is still pretty expensive. Kosta Koufos is pretty good. I've been somewhat impressed with him as a punt. He does kind of remind me of Vlade Divac. Where I lost here, I mean, everyone did well. Westbrook 58, Waiters 21. Everyone here kind of exceeded their expectation, except for Robin Lopez. So I bombed there, or else it could have been a lot better night. I still did make a decent amount of money with that lineup. So what do I got going for tonight for Yahoo? Which lineup am I going with here? Okay. So this is the lineup I believe I'm going with. So I'm going with Bledsoe and Harden. I hope to get 100 points out of both of these guys. Just some sort of combo, whether it's 40, 60, 45, 55. I want 100 points out of this combo that cost me, what's the math there, 81. That's kind of what I'm hoping out of there. To get to 250 points, to win, kind of 250 points in this is like 300 in DraftKings or FanDuel. You need 1.25. 1.25 times points. So that's why it's so tough to go with Westbrook and Steph Curry to kind of make the money there. They both got to be scoring 70, so it's tough to go with either of those guys. So Bledsoe and Harden is my Harden's kind of my wild card in this lineup. Then I'm sticking with the same people that you've seen before: Barton, Fournier, Tobias Harris, T.J. Warren, Vukovic. And my punt here, Jameer Nelson. Saw him play last night, and he looked pretty good as well. So maybe that was the other guard My computer's blowing up. Maybe that was the other guard I was thinking of. So they got um, uh, Randy Foye, Will Barton, Moutier, Gary Harris will play a little bit, and Jameer Nelson. So you'll see three of them on the court at once. So that's what I got for the lineup there. I'm not going to play a lot just because I'm going to be out tonight, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy these games. So I hope you do well. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.